today we're gonna tackle the graveyard of why questions. So in a study by Fisher and Patton for the book Getting to Yes, their research showed that a why type question actually escalates conflict in negotiations. And although we're talking about sales, remember what we said in the negotiation section of the program. Sales and negotiations are cousins. They're in the same family. So when you ask why questions, they can often make your prospect feel defensive. It can seem like you're questioning their decisions or their competency, which is going to break rapport instantly. And when you break rapport like this, you almost never get it back. So here's a few questions that seemingly are innocent. We almost all ask them in the sales process, but they almost always break rapport. So we may ask somebody, why did your team fail in its last bidding process? Or why have you waited to make a change up until now? Why is this or that the best time? Or why is this or that your best option? See, anytime we ask a why question, we're asking the other person to defend or to justify their position. Why questions can sound accusatory or critical, and more importantly, they can make a person feel that way, which certainly doesn't build certainty, right? And unless you have massive rapport with the other person, which is rarely the case in the early intelligence gathering phase, where rapport is just beginning to be built, you will turn the person off and they will move from partner to adversary. So instead, try scripting how or what questions. These types of questions are less likely to evoke defensive responses and more likely to encourage open and productive dialogue. Let's take a look at an example. Instead of asking, why did your team fail in its last bidding process? Change it to, how do you think your team failed in its last bidding process? From why did your team fail to how do you think your team failed? Or what do you think caused your team to fail in the last bidding process? Don't let the simplicity of this fool you. This really matters in the game of microagreements. Microagreements are those small but crucial steps that lead to a bigger commitment. So by asking how and what questions, you facilitate these agreements more effectively. How and what questions don't carry the same accusatory tone as why questions, so the prospect is less likely to feel defensive. How and what questions require more thoughtful and detailed answers, providing you with even deeper insights. In sales, your goal is to gather information and build trust, not to make your prospect feel like they're under scrutiny. This is intelligence gathering, it's not an interrogation. Remember, experience is always the best teacher, so apply what you've learned in this video and you're going to find that it's going to pay off big dividends. I'll see you tomorrow.